y'all, it's your girl Ahavaya, also known as Juliet. Welcome to my channel, to those of you who are returning, and welcome to those of you who are seeing my video for the first time. And if you enjoy what you see next, and if you go through my videos and you enjoy what you see, please consider subscribing to my channel and joining the family. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. Today, I am coming to you with a plant tour, a winter 2023 plant tour. We moved into this place almost a year ago, and I haven't had a plant tour here, although I've made videos in the space. I haven't actually showed you how I've laid out the space and how I've styled it with my plants. So let's get into the video. So as you come down the stairs to the right, you will find my budgies, 4 of them to be exact, and they're singing away at the moment. Alright, so to the right of my birds, you'll find this section of plants here at this cabinet. And first off here, I have this Dracaena messagina, and this plant has been with me for about 4 years now, and it's growing pretty big. All right, so it has this growth here on the side. When I picked it up, it was about a little under half the size that it currently is right now. It's grown quite a lot, and last summer I took it outside to allow it to get some sun, and it got some burns, it got distressed, and I quickly brought it in when I saw that this was happening, but it was too late. So a lot of its leaves have these bleached and dried edges from that, but otherwise it's recovering pretty well. I've moved this plant around quite a lot, and this is the new location for it. Okay, right next to it we have my Ficus elastica burgundy, one of 2 that I had. The other one has actually been sent to hubby's workplace to live and to beautify that location for now. So this is the other one that I had when I first bought these. I think I had them in 2 different pots, and I separated them over the years. They've grown pretty tall, and this is the new leaf. I actually tried to get them to grow branches, to branch out, and I don't think it worked very well. It looks like there's a little bit of a bud over here, but I don't know, not much has happened. This is the only new branch that has come out since I chopped it off the top to propagate it. And yeah, that's about it. I recently had to change the soil, add more perlite to the soil because it was pretty dense. I mean, it was growing, but I felt the water wasn't really getting in there enough, so I had to make it less dense. And I've actually sprinkled some Ceylon cinnamon on top of there to avoid fungus gnats, and it's doing well. And as I mentioned, I have propagated this. I have about 4 or 5 propagations that came from this particular plant, and so I'll show you those later on. Underneath this, we have my Monstera deliciosa, and all of these are under a grow light through this lamp right here, so I turned it off for now, but Here is my Monstera deliciosa. It used to be part of number of plants in one pot, and it declined. It wasn't doing too well over a time. It happened to have caught what do you call those, thrips. It had some thrips on it, and I'm actually currently treating it for that as well too. I think I've gotten rid of them at this point in time, hence why I've joined it to these other plants here. But this is one of many plants that I used to have, and the other ones caught thrift, as I said, thrips, and they died. So I got rid of them, and this is what's left. Right, moving on, we have this pot of cacti here, my roadkill cactus, which has grown pretty tall and is getting thicker at the base at this point in time. This is one of my favorite plants that my son picked out a while ago, a few summers ago or a couple summers ago, and it's growing bigger and getting taller. That's that. Here is another cactus here. I'm not too sure what this is called. I'm thinking that this is a dragon fruit, what do you call it? Grafting, I guess. Dragon fruit, and then another piece of cacti that they've grafted to the base there. I'm not too sure what they're calling it. Next to it is another cactus. I can't remember what this is called. I'll find out and put it on the screen. Next to it is this philodendron Brazil, and it's lost its variegation. It was a propagation. This small pot was just a test that I did, just propagating it. I had issues with rifts on this particular plant or pot as well, but I've gotten rid of it, so I'm glad about that. But it suffered a little bit in terms of loss of variegation, and it's reverted to the green form at this point, at least this particular cutting. These ones still seem to have variegation on it, but I'm not sure if the new leaves that come out will have the variegation on it. Yeah, so I have it here. I just recently placed it here to see if it'll get more light under the grow light that I have set up here. And I hope it's happier in this location. All right, so right next to this Brazil is my Synapsis exotica, and I love this plant so much. It's one of my favorites, I should say. It's getting a yellow leaf here. I think I need to water it, but this plant has grown so much since I first purchased it. I think I started with like 2 cuttings and a few leaves, and I've been able to propagate and replant the cuttings back into the pot, and it's now a very full pot, and it's growing pretty long. Let's see. Here is one of the leaves all entangled in the plant over here, but it's getting pretty long. I'm thinking about cutting it up and propagating it some more and making more pots out of what I have here. Moving on from this section over here is the TV area, or I guess lounging area here, and we'll start off with my, oh man, I'm blanking right now, My ZZ plant. This is my ZZ plant I've had for a few years also, maybe even more than a few years, about 4 years now. And it's grown so big with some new stems growing over there in the bottom of the plant. This is the tallest stem of the plant, and it's growing so nice. This is the newest leaf. I love this plant so much because of the rubbery and shiny leaves that it pushes out, and it's such a beauty. It really is. And it's true that it's hard to kill. Not that I'm trying to kill it, but it bounces back really quickly. It doesn't show much distress when it hasn't had water. These potato-like bulbs hold its water, most of the water, and so when you don't water it for a while, it's able to keep itself alive, generally. Next here is Stella. Stella, if you guys have seen my first plant tour, this is Stella. It was growing, or she was growing pretty well for a while, and then I moved it and it didn't get enough light, and it slowed down in growth. So this is like the newest leaf. It's pretty small, but I've placed it here to see if it likes it, to see how big the new leaves get, and we'll go from there. Next to it is Sunny. You guys know Sunny. Sunny is my first plant. Out of all these plants that I have here, this was my very first one. I love so much. It used to be one plant on one stem, and then it fell. It got root rot, and the rot moved up the stem, and it hunched right over. I have a video about this and how I saved it, but it's alive and it's doing well. I had to cut off the two tops of Sunny, and I replanted it. I grew the roots in water, and then I repotted them into this pot, and they are doing well. Sunny, Sunny, Sunny. Next here is a propagation of pothos, of golden pothos. I think I have like one stem or vine of golden pothos, and then the rest here are marble queen. Next to it is my ZZ plant propagation. This is the original cutting, and the original cutting, that first stem that I used to propagate this, I recently cut it off because it was the leaves were yellowing, and this is the first offshoot or stem that grew off of it, and this is the newest one here. All right, so that is my ZZ plant propagation. I have here my money tree propagation. All right, and it's growing a new leaf here. I've had to chop off a few of the leaves, or several of the starter leaves or stems. No, leaves. Because they were getting yellow. I often forget to water this one. Why? I'm not too sure, but sometimes I skip it thinking that it's moist enough. The water is, the soil is moist enough, but it turns out to not be the case, and then I get yellow leaves. But that's that. Next here we have my Chinese evergreen aglaonema propagation. All right, next to that is a propagation of my Dracaena messenger, the first plant that I showed you in this tour. Right, so I cut this off of the side of the what do you call it? The trunk. All right, next here is my mother fern. Okay, so this one seems to be doing well. I recently forgot to water it, and so some of the leaves dried up there, but it's good now, and it's grown so much since I got it. It wasn't happy with one of the locations that I had it in, but this is one of the newest locations, and we're seeing how it's doing. So this is another propagation of pothos. All right, and next to it is my peace lily that I picked up from IKEA from the as is section because they had failed to water it and it was wilting. It was being dramatic. All the leaves were, drooping really badly. When I brought it home, I gave it some water and it perked right back up. That's all it needed, guys. Like, just give it some water. But it's doing well. This was also in a location which wasn't getting where it wasn't getting enough sun, and I recently moved it here and it's doing a lot better, giving me bigger leaves and taller leaves. I think these were the original leaves, and these are the newer leaves, but it's doing better here and it's liking it better right next to the sliding doors, which, by the way, this is a west, let's say northwest facing sliding doors or windows here, so we get enough sun. It's just blocked off a little bit by the homes that are in the back here, but we're doing well. I have a lot of grow lights set up, so I'm managing. This here, guys, is Artois. If you guys remember Artois is one of my OG plants as well, next to Sunny. I think it was like the second plant that I picked up, or I think I might have picked it up. Sunny, Stella, the snake plant, Stella, Sunny, and Artois. Okay, I picked them up around the same time, but it's gotten so big. I'm growing it upwards here on a trellis, a makeshift trellis. All right, and I just had to add this piece here to extend the trellis, and it's growing pretty well. And I have it under another grow light, which is up here, and it's doing well. This here is a ripsalis. I forget which kind of ripsalis it is, but I love ripsalis. I wish I could have them all over my house. I love them so much, but here it is. It's growing a lot as well. It's grown a lot over the years. I've had it for maybe 3 years now as well, and it's doing well. Okay, next here I have a lucky cane, lucky bamboo, something like that. I have it down here in a glass bottle, and it's just growing. I've had it a long time as well. Next here is my Chinese evergreen aglaonema. Okay, and this is another one of my favorites. I recently did a video featuring it, I believe. I can't remember, but I think I did, yes. And it's doing very well. All right. Yes, and it has a shoot growing off the side over here, so I'm excited about that. Next to it is my Easter cactus, okay, which has never bloomed for me since I purchased it. which is not good, but it's there. I don't think it's getting as much sun as it wants, but it's there. A lot of the leaves that are falling into the pot are growing roots, and they're doing well also. Next here is my avocado plant. It's about 2 years old now. All right. Okay, and these two stems are growing from one base. All right, I recently had to add more soil to this pot and lift it. I raised it out of the pot, put more soil at the base, and then put soil at the top of it because for some reason a lot of it had come out the bottom. And I had this out in the summer as well. I had it outside and it enjoyed its time there. And then but the only problem is that I kept forgetting to go out and water it, so I lost a lot of its leaves and a lot of it were burned. But it's doing well now. It's happier. These are newer leaves, okay, since it's come in, and it's doing fine. Next we have here my my philodendron Brazil, the mother plant, from which I took the propagation at the beginning of the video, what I showed you at the beginning of the video. And this one also had thrips, and I seem to have it under control now, but I just recently moved it here to see if it's going to prefer this location better for growth. All right, in the near future I think I'm going to propagate this and put it back into the pot to make a fuller pot. But this is my second time around at trying out the philodendron Brazil. I didn't have great luck with it the first time several years ago when I first purchased one. It died after it caught thrips, and this is my second chance, so I'm trying my best. I think it's doing okay. I check every single day to see if there are thrips on it, and so far so good. All right, so under here I have a couple plants. I have my cactus, all right, that's grown taller since the last plant tour, I believe. It's doing well. And then I have my spider plants that I that I repotted recently. 3 plants into one pot. They're not doing very well. They had thrips. They were attacked by thrips, and I think I have it under control now. And so they're just chilling here. I'm trying my best to keep these alive. The first spider plant that I had, I don't know, it didn't quite make it, and this is my second hand at it, my second try at it, and hopefully it doesn't die on me. But at least I took the cuttings or the pups off of them recently, and I'm propagating some of those right now. So if this dies, at least I'll have the propagations, and I'll try my best not to kill those. All right. Next here is my dolphin, what is it, Senecio plant, my dolphin, string of dolphins, my gosh, string of dolphins plant. I picked this up from IKEA, and it has grown so much also. I've had it for about a year now, year and a half maybe actually, and it's doing well. It's gotten so long. All right, Moving on over the daybed here, I have these three lovelies. Yeah, so I have a Monstera adansonii that I took from my mother plant. All right, you'll see that towards the end of the video. But yeah, it's a propagation pot. Okay, and I just wrapped it around here. I don't think it's doing too well. I think the tip there broke off not too long ago. This right here, and it's just trying to grow back, but it's doing well. Another one of my favorites. Next is a Marble Queen pothos that I've had for about 4 years now, 4 maybe 5 years now. It's extremely long. I've cut it and propagated it many times. Here is my golden pothos, my mother pot golden pothos plant. I don't know if it's liking it so much here. I think it's the lighting is fine because the newer leaves have the golden variegation on it. That's so pretty. Look at that. That looks so amazing. But I think it's okay here. It's doing well here. And it's hanging from the ceiling. All right, and I just recently draped it over my clock here. But yeah, I've propagated these plants many times, and they just keep giving. I love them so much. All right, next. We have this section over here. All right, don't mind that wall over here. It needs to be painted, but yeah, this is the setup that I have over here. We have my bird of paradise pots or plants. These are white bird of paradise, and I've had so much struggle with these plants. Partly because I moved them around a lot, partly because I have children that have damaged them. It's the reason why I've cut off a lot of the leaves. And this is from the same pot. When I first bought it, it was these three plants in one pot. I since separated this one on its own because it's lost many leaves as well, and it's small at this point in time. I guess you consider it a baby or pup, or I don't even know how you want to call it, but there's that. And then there is this. There are these ones here, and I've had to battle thrips on this plant or these plants as well. I don't know what it is. These thrips won't leave my plants alone. I don't know what it is, why I keep getting them on my plants, but I'm very tired of them. Anywho, moving forward, I have this calathea that I recently purchased. I just did a video on that actually, on how I saved it from Home Depot from being thrown out because they neglected it, didn't water it, found them, they were practically dry. But you could check out that video, all right? But it's doing so well with the new leaves, and we're pushing forward. All right, next up is my the mother pot of my Monstera adansonii. It's pretty long. I have it up on this this IKEA calyx unit here, and it's doing very well as well. So once in a while I cut off the vines and I propagate the cuttings. Right. Next to that is a pothos propagation. All right, next to that is a pot of snake plants there, Sansevieria. Next to it is my Florida Beauty, Dracaena, which I love so much. I have it potted in a glass vase, and it's doing well. I take a lot of precaution when I water that one, just so that it doesn't get overwatered. But lately it's been getting these yellow leaves and it's scaring me a little bit, so I'm thinking I might put it back into a pot that has holes in it. But at least it's growing. So here is a new leaf here, and it's doing okay. It's doing well. Here are my spider plant propagations that I cut off the mother plant. You've probably seen videos of that recently, in terms of the mother plant that I repotted. All right, and up here I have my Ficus elastica burgundy propagations, and then another Monstera deliciosa propagation here I have in a vase. Okay, that one's been struggling too. That one also battled with thrips, and that's what's left of it. I have, let me see. Whew. Right under there, you'll see the other calathea that I saved from Home Depot recently. All right, and that one is doing okay, not as well as the other one that I just showed you as the bigger one, but it's doing okay. Got some propagations of philodendron Brazil and pothos, marble queen pothos, in a small pot there. All right, and then here I have my phalaenopsis orchid. All right, so that's doing okay as well. I recently lost a leaf. It shriveled up and died, and this leaf here snapped when I moved it recently, but I have a new leaf coming out and it's doing well. And finally, I have here a pot of propagation, pothos, marble queen pothos, and this propagation is well and full and is growing very long, very long. So I'm gonna have to cut this very soon and propagate that. All right, guys, so that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this plant tour. Thank you for staying and watching till the end of the video. For those of you that made it through, I appreciate that so much. Once again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, don't forget to do so before you leave, and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video as well, okay? Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other, and see you in the next video. Take care.